You know, hello there. I was thinking, yesterday I was in the grocery store, and I know people say, these government people and that say that inflation is stopped, it's pretty much gone. Well, I go to the grocery store and I used to buy 7 or 8 items commonly. And I'd walk out, it cost me $25, and I'd walk out with 2 sacks. Well, yesterday I was in there and I picked up them 7 or 8 items. I walked out of the store with 2 sacks, and it cost darn near $50. It was $48 and some cents. That's double in the last 2 to 3 years. And I got to thinking about it. I sat there and I looked, and there was a display of these little goodies on a deal that a old-timey outfit used to make. Oh, it was like I ain't gonna name it, but when I was a youngster back in the 1950s, this little package, about like this, cost a dime. And on that display yesterday in that grocery store, it was $1.74. I was, back in, I guess it was the 1970s, because it was old President Nixon when he was in there and his bunch. They unpegged the dollar bill from gold. That was so it could float, and so it could be used in these money markets, and it could be used by these big investors and corporate gamblers and stuff to make fortunes just off of trading money between countries. Well, that's so. But now, I got to looking at it, and with that I guess somebody said the other day, $33 trillion in debt and everything, that dollar bill ain't nothing but monopoly money. It's absolutely worthless. And there was some feller that said, we had currency because the government issued currency. Nobody. The government can print or can coin currency at a certain value. They set the value at Congress back there. And but all of that money, all of that anything, I don't care, people got it the wrong way, because all these charlatans and spin doctors and snake oil salesmen and everything that are in the government and in banking and all these other things have created this big farce that all this money's out there and we're just people. Guess what? The United States, legal citizens in the United States own every foot of ground, own every bit of minerals and oil and such under the ground, own every gallon of water that's in the lakes and rivers. They own every cent. They own every rifle, every firearm, every jet airplane, every aircraft carrier, every destroyer, cruiser, whatever that's out there with that USS on it, that there is. The government don't own it. The people, we the people, the legal U.S. citizens own everything, and it's in trust to us. That's why I harp on them mobs known as the Democratic National Party and the Republican National Party and their criminal heads, the mob bosses that run them and everything, because they think they own it. If you put the two of them together, they've only got about 2/3 of the vote in the country together. There's another third out there that nobody cares about. Nobody accounts for it because we've been taught it don't mean nothing. If the Democrats get 24%, as they do usually in every presidential election, they get 24% of the registered or eligible voters to vote for them. They have a mandate. This is what it is, and nobody can step with that. That ain't even democracy. That's dictatorship. That's tyranny. If the Republicans get the 24% or 25%, that is 5 votes more than the Democrats get, we've got a mandate. We've got to put all this conservative stuff. No, they don't got a mandate. They are liars and thieves and criminals right down the line. They run these protection rackets. They run these number games and everything on we the people. Now, a corporation, that Supreme Court back there in times have made corporations all the rights of a citizen, a person, a legal citizen. They aren't. They don't even come close to being a legal person, not a human being, which is a citizen of the United States. Now, they do all these things. Now, I've just been tired of it. I've been looking at it, and I finally, all that money deal, they made that Federal Reserve. Well, you go looking, you go reading, you go study, and you pay attention, and you critically think about it. That Federal Reserve is a illegal, unconstitutional behemoth that it was forced on us by those criminals in the DNC and the RNC mobs. Just think about it. I don't care whether it was called the Whigs or it was called the Jeffersonian Democrats or anything over the years. It's still been two parties with the whole idea of controlling and robbing we the people blind. All this international stuff. Why do we have all them soldiers and military and everything out there in foreign countries? There's no reason for it, except we're the bully on the block ever since the Second World War. Now, I remember old Trump got in trouble for making a comment about the dumb guys that joined up under Woodrow Wilson and went to Europe to fight the First World War. That Wilson feller, you get to checking what kind of a racist and everything else that man was. He was pretty much a communist, if you think about it. He was one of them real socialists, and that there Karl Marx, I remember somewhere he said that socialism was the stepping stone to communism. Now, you know what we got in this United States? It's not liberty. It's not a Republican form of government. That was taken away from us during the Civil War. Oh, it's none of that stuff. We've got a socialist system right on the verge of being communism or fascism. I don't care what you want to call it. They are both tyranny. They are both dictatorships. And we the people are the ones that are suffering for it. Think about it. Go read. Ask your congressman. Ask your senator. Look at that 16th and 17th Amendment in the Constitution and see what you think about it. Go look up and see. There's interesting things about a missing 13th Amendment. Oh, we've got the 13th Amendment. You can go read that. But there was one that was supposed to have been, and a lot of people claim it was ratified before the Civil War. It never got registered at the courthouse. Think about it. Study. Think. If you're a religious person, pray about it. I'll ask God to bless you all. Clear your minds. Talk to you later.